Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do the weekly update for starting tomorrow and then also to on 6/21. So basically this week long, we're looking at everything and we just can't even do it. When you see it and you actually go through, you can't even be it. So as looking at politics and law enforcement and military and the way it was all playing out today, it actually was pretty heinous with Israel and Iran, I have to say. When I see it actually come through, I have to say that it really is disturbing to the fact where it has like a set tone if you can't feel it or not. So when I see Friday the 13th, it really was a true 13. So when you have a June 13th and it is like past what's called a bay, it means like we've done everything and anything is other than nothing to keep this away and it keeps coming towards us. And when it keeps coming towards you, you just can't even do. You can't even do and you can't even do. So let's actually go through this to the highest mark of all. So let's pull out the gold tarot. So today, we're talking about Israel and Iran, and we're talking about politics, and we're talking about how China actually holds the morals of the world, which, it is a political statement, but we really have to sue. And then we have Elon Musk, and then we had this whole strange things occurrence out here in Connecticut that we had a seal out in New Haven in the suburbs in the city. And then South Africa has their elephant seal in the suburbs. And we can't even do it whatsoever. You sit there and you're like, don't you see that connection? That's kind of odd. So you have to say, what's going to go on with Africa? So we already had one out here with issues with Asian descent of being deported. So then we have China holding our morals. And then you look at it, you're like, is this like building up to the War of the Worlds or something? This is like, no. And then you hear him say, boil it down. All right, we'll boil it right down. So by 6 o'clock tonight, what I can see as I get completely is you can't even beat it hard enough. It is highly deceitful on a face value. When you look at it, it's foregoing and foreseeing when you see this Three of Wands. And when you look at it, it's such imbalance. It's evident proof that there's imbalance in the countries. And when you see it, you can't even get a contract going or anything because everything's so happy again. It's happened before, right before something of like a war or pop off, people start pushing legal a little bit more. So when we look at it as the way it played out today with the other countries and what is said in the media, it really was something of a manifest. And when I see a manifest, I see planes, all meanings of a plane. And it really, really does hurt when it actually comes through. Because when I see it and I actually look at this, it really isn't the best of feminine energy you wouldn't want to say with that card, but really it is not the best of like a go to go, like get going and like get this started because it's popping off. And really, we have to say like it really is going to be a luck, up to a stroke of luck, even up to like watching golf, to the Gulf of Mexico, to everything that you can't even see it coming, that it would do well. It would do well to actually like hear it, have it come through. So when I see this, all of a sudden you see huge breaking up of like companies and partnerships and contracts and everything coming through. Like, what is coming through? This has got to be gold. This has got to be gold, whatever is coming in. When you get together and you actually like have this whole celebration to everything, so you have to see this Knight of Swords in reverse come in on a halt stop. There's no wind. So when you actually look at it portraying, you see planes, trains, and automobiles, and then you actually look at it to the highest degree, you have to actually see it and go, there really is no can do. There really is no can do. It really is a marriage and a partnership to be done. And when you see it and you say, it looks like grandiose thoughts, but there is something of an inkling where all of a sudden someone goes, absolutely not, absolutely not. I'm not doing this whatsoever. So it really is happy and it really is strange and strayer. When we have a strayer, it means it's almost like a striade. When you see striade, you actually see muscle tearing. And when you see muscle tearing, when you actually have physical divorces, like people in divorce court, it really has something to do with masculine energy when that happens in a pull away. When you see this, it really lands into judicial. And when I actually look at this and I go, what is the divorce that actually shocks the world? I'm putting it right out there again because it really would cause a lockdown. You couldn't believe it. You can't even believe it. You have to like literally put it right out there. And when you look at it and you say the King of Pentacles, is it ensue? I don't think so. I really don't feel like it's going to come out until like months later, but it has happened. I can feel it. So when you look at it and you see Propitious, nobody could get their words out straight when they actually see it. They're like, da, 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 da. No, 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 no. Like, look, like how I was today. And I was like, no, 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 look at that energy right in Israel right now. It's not right. It's not right. I can't even see it. It alleviates some of the money problems, but you can't even do. So when I look at this and I go, there's no deal on the table. I already knew. There's no logic. No logic. It is post full moon, that strawberry moon that we have talked about. It really is blocking everyone's senses to sight and everything. And sometimes they're blocked up too, right here, depending on how their zodiac signs are. You literally have to like show how secure you are in the world right now. So with that being said, it's normal, like negotiations on the table by tonight, and what is really going through and true. Because when you look at it and you actually see it, and you look at the 14th, you're like, everything is fine because everything is like fresh. And then by like 5 p.m., you're like, I'm seeing it again. And then by the 15th, it's just like, no, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it. By the 17th, I swear to God, when I look at this and I go, no. This has happened before. You've got to be prudent. It is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. You can't do it without it knowing what is true and what is not, because it was foretold and forelaid. So a forelay, it means it was like a 4-page document, not like a dossier or anything of that nature. But when it comes through, you can't get a done on it. It is a type of incident evolving and revolving to a creation to like up to Christendom that causes severings up to almost like it feels like a true severing when it's a true divorce, and it hurts really bad. So none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. You wouldn't believe how many people are actually going through it right now. All right, let's go a little bit more. So I, as like small town politics, I would actually watch taxes. I would watch how taxes are like delivered out and how people are responding in town hall. To actually city, I would actually watch the courts and how people are walking in and walking out and talking. By like Capitol Hill, I would say just sit and listen. Just sit and listen. When you actually get to the like bigger places, I would say sit and listen and just listen to the wind and just enjoy nature and see what you can pick up on, because that is what's going to tell you what's true and what is not. It's something circulating. It's something of a wind, like mill effect. It's only creation that can come in. And you're like, what does that mean? It literally looks like the port. It literally looks like the port. Birth and creation, tapestry of life. Something was like born that we weren't aware of. And it's not to scare or be like fear mongering or warmongering. It's just seeing as a psychic that you have to say like, it's highly like not appropriate. All of a sudden, like I have these like premonitions of like rubbing my face and doing this, like flicking it away, whatever it is. Allergies, like all of a sudden you have allergies really bad in mid-June, July. Why? And then when you see it and you see serving the world by being you, like light worker, starseed, double mission, I don't really feel that. I don't feel like it's homegrown terrorism or anything of that fact that matter, but I really do feel that it is something like you need to watch your intuition. So once a psychic gets away from actual seeing, like scrying and actually picking up as a psychic, they go right to intuition. That really is called like a downplay by the universe. And when the universe actually does it correctly, you actually feel that pullback, like of like natural progression of a conversation. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I feel like somebody is like in mediumship. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. I see a lot of people going back to school in the next year, all by just like determining of this week. So isolation, physical connection, and community. I can't even get it out. It literally means if you can't get your words out, there's something going on, even if you watch your words. So when I see inner child's tenderness, innocent, or rare gifts, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Intelligence of the universe lies within you. Yeah, you can't even believe it. When you see inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within, literally, all of a sudden you're going about, I'm like, I was at the bank and I saw and I felt this there and I don't know why, but I need to listen to this song. It just comes out of the blue. All right, here we go. Let's look at the Akashic Tarot. What else do we need to know for the weekly report? So as we're watching the media, and it really is like a kick up again of war, even though it seems settled because of contracts. So Elon Musk was supposed to have their mineral deal, and he was supposed to be doing the audits. But then you had President Zelensky all of a sudden like doing the mineral deal, and then Elon really breaks down. I really don't feel like it was a divorce that shocked everyone, though it might have. But I do feel it is a couple. Is a true marriage. I do see the cutting board still. I see lettuce. I see a cut on the thumb, and then I see how it actually pulls like away through society to the point of where even celebrities like, I saw this coming. I saw this coming. I couldn't even believe this at all. The Queen of Forces card in reverse means like you can't even do energy work. When you see this, you see loving elementals. Holy cow. Holy cow. To the point where you're saying, yeah, I actually need to take vitamin B and I actually have to take a few other things. When you see clearing the way in reverse, blocks, blockades, National Guard. When you see the War of the Roses in reverse, no common ground. There's no common ground, whatever comes through. They really mastered their craft with these riots and protests. They did it well. There's nothing else that you can do. But when you say Sangha, community in reverse, nobody's on the same page all of a sudden in community watches. It's like almost too pertinent and it's almost too hard of a conversation. When you see Archangel Michael, you go, no, 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 no. Can't even do. When you see reflection, you're not hearing like angel time or angel numbers or synchronicities. You literally look in the mirror and you're reflecting throughout your day or sitting, and then this is what happens. Then balance actually comes in and you're like, okay, I got it. I'm good. When you see this initiation in the Count of Saint Germain, that's actually one of the topics that's out on YouTube and other like media platforms right now. Saint Germain is one of the initiations in politics, right down to law enforcement, where you get a gone. With it, the way they say it is get a gone. So when you say get a gone, it means get a going, get it gone, get it be, and be a bay, be at bay, and literally be like a Lucifer to get whatever it is out, where you have to use everything and anything and something and nothing about yourself. It really is hard because they go through trial and tribulation. And that's why a lot of them end up being honorable. And I'm not doing quote unquote because it's a per se. It is honorable because they have to show everything about themselves, that no matter what has happened in that investigation, that they truly did live up to morals and ethics and they followed the law down to general statutes. It's really hard to prove. They have a lot of sleuth flying at them and slander and defamation when it happens. So when you see the King of Roses, it really is an offering, up to a stem offering. When you look at it and you see setting your course, you have to set your way hard. The divine position, oh my God, medical. Like the revolving door of issues. How is that related to this week? It's going to happen. It really will. Watch how it plays out with other law enforcement who just came in, legal who just came in, to now up to midterm elections, almost talking. When you see this and you see the Oracle of Delphi, it's not foreseen, it's not foretold, it is not prophesied, it is a true fate. Meaning no matter what is written, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. When you see the lookout, holy cow, you can't do a done. You can't do a done whatsoever. Unclear path, absolutely. So that is it. There's something growing in all the communities that when you see it, it like ticks people off. Like it could be, which is truly against the law. You can't dump something next to a collection box. You have to actually use a transfer station, a dump, and actually do it. Why? It like breeds criminal activity. So when, you have a first selectman, talking about it on social media, like, do not do this. It literally means it could lead in drug addicts to prostitution. You can't understand it. And people get upset, like, how dare you? How dare you? But it's true. So let's look at the Pleiadian Oracle. And where is this standing on the political realm? Where are the med beds? Where is the virtuous woman? Where is the Pleiadians? Where are they coming in? Where is this going to be? Because, mom and dad need healing because we can't get anything through the insurance. And then when we see it, hear it, and feel it, it really is none. It's literally all week long. It's a little bit more tense. So when you say, hi, how you doing? You can't even believe how it flows through. Here it is. So when I see service, I actually see like community service to actual civil service. And they're saying, I'm sorry to, impose on you or talk to you about this nature, but I really need to get an answer. So when you see this and it hasn't happened in a really long time, you really have to look like straight in the eye. And when you look at it, you're looking at vehicles. You're looking at everything that's like crime usually happens right on a property to trespassing. When you set your vibrations to the highest degree of known, you can't even believe how bad like people get fired up. When I see this card, I really see like kids playing in a sandbox and then the issues of community health. When I see this, like they saw it, they heard it, they felt it, they divinated on it, other psychics, mediums, people who do tarot and runes or practice Wicca or anything of that nature, that they really did see it in dreams of like foretelling and like odd things, like a bull in a china shop and the bull chasing them. When you look at this and you go taking chances, you can't even see it coming. Pakal's tomb, it really means something else. It really does. It really has something to do with trees. Pakal's tomb. And then lastly, when you look at this, it's like a mathematical figure that drives everyone nuts. So when I see it, it actually ends up being a diet. There it is. That is what's on the table. Everyone can figure out what diet is actually driving everyone insane right now. Here we go. Knife and power. There's something about a gap and a cutout. And when you see this cutout, you saw, really? Are you sure? Are you like in dreamland? Are you in fantasy? Getting this done and gone and like be a bay and to be a done? No, like this is a little bit more deeper. Here we go. Perspective, absolutely. Two views of the ego. When you see this, it's something already there, working together. When you see community and then you see spider, you literally have to end it right there because that is power. It's a lot of power. This book, when you look at it, has hope, revelation, ignorance to spider. And watch, it will boil down again. Focus, planning, digesting. You can't even believe it. So I have to actually look at it because what I can see is like no matter how hard you try to do a regain or a re-end or try to do something else, it's just already gone and done. No matter what you were trying to do when you have that type of incident elsewhere. Anyone who's been overseas and had deployments can see like it's already right there because we saw one word, one look, one hand gesture, and it was done. It was just already done. Here we go. What do we need to know about the week? When you look at like occult-based crimes and you look to Satanism and you look to Satanism to the base of NEA, you actually have to look to the T. And when you look to the T, it really is right here, but really it was done wrong. Done wrong. T and rebar. So then you look at Hoffa and then you look at Teamsters and they're like, there's no steel. There's no steel. Endurance. It has to do about swimming. And when you do swimming, you got to pace out and you have to gaze it. When you gaze it, you actually are cutting away as you pace it out. And when you're swimming like a marathon, when you're doing a butterfly, you can't even believe how it goes to the Olympics. And then you go, the wings, the soul, it was everywhere, this issue, everywhere. Everyone's like, I swear to God, I've never been this sick before. Why? Devotion to everything about the dark. So when I want to pull the other card, you just don't. It has to do about freedom. And when you look at wings with all of that, wishes, ambition, and wandering. Oh my gosh, you can't even do. You can't even do. Here we go. Let's look at another tarot deck. What else do we need to know? Poker cards. So I'm looking at the Supreme Court. I can't even get it out right. I'm seeing Gypsy Rose. I'm seeing Wade Wilson. I'm seeing all these big things. You know, out here, former Governor Rowland, he was pardoned on the basis of many incidences while he was in term. And then when you see this, you actually sit there and you go, what was going on with Chrisley's? It really was embezzlement. It really was money laundering to loan sharking to where you have to say, I got to go back to the Gambino crime family and talk about the marijuana that they found because of what was in that batch that were all not right. So when I see like 2 9s and a 10 like this, it means you literally have to say, you know what, if you're not getting your act straight because you have all these resources as much as you can, and if you've documented that you have no leeway and you've tried everything and anything and something and nothing, that you have to actually go to law enforcement and you have to go to legal and say there is something wrong because there's a lot of things happening. When you see the 5 of Hearts and you see the King of Spades to the 7 of Spades, it really means knock it out. Whatever is no longer serving you, get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Here we go. So that was sad. Where are we going to see that with politics and everything going on? Universal Collective. I see boats. I see ships. I see the oil rigs. I see the train tracks. I see horses. I see cows. I see the USDA. And I see another talk about Epstein. When you see Hierophant to the devil, it always is a free will choice on how it plays out. Dictative, absolutely. Is there something wrong? That was how it goes. There you go. When you see The Magician, and you see Netflix, and then you see there's no logic, and then you see this, and you see the Five of Wands, to the Judgment, and then you look at this, and you go, I already knew. Yep, I already knew. Call it in. So when you look at it, and you see the World, and you see the Page of Cups, did you miss a message? Any which way in form? Any form of communication? Because you got to make an effort. You know, you're in divorce court. Bad contracts. That's all you need to know. Bad contracts. I can't even get the words out straight. Let's look into the Animal Spirit Oracle. And then we'll go to the rooms. Oh my God. It is a rarity. Literally, they're looking at the waters with Epstein and Maxine and looking down where they were living and seeing what is actually true down there. Because when I see this, I see the elk, I see the Oaks Club, I see the Elks Club, I see like the way Oak Island is, I see how everything all the way through the Galapagos. And when I see rabbit, I just want to throw the book at people. And that is it. It's reborn. Whatever it is, it was done and it was reborn. That's all you need to know. So with that being said, that's all you need to know. Let's go to Black Obsidian Runes. What do we need to knock out now? Protesters, riots. There's something about luck with them. Strength. Living. Has to do with their health. Pay attention to their health. Be careful about how you put my words in other people's mouths. That's what I also hear too many people saying. Because it literally means like actually be a little bit sensitive and actually look down their health records when needed. They're sick. They're really sick. When you see this and they say traitor, looters, they literally are at the bottom of the barrel. They've got nothing. They're able-bodied, but they can't get a job. So when you see this and you see defensiveness of born of like where it was birthed, it's solid. They're too solid. Like they have a hard time with running. So when I see this, I see power, and it was like something in the 70s about going away. You go, get it out of here right now. I already know. When you see Rido, and you see wealth, and you see hidden game, still racketeering. Here it is. Lastly is this crystal quartz. Gone. 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 That's all you need to know. That's how it ends the week. Around the 19th or 20th, we don't know what is gone. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. It's greatly appreciated. Readings and classes on Patreon. And then also subscribe is greatly appreciated too. And we will talk to you soon. Have a good week.